stage. I think, see, in India, a lot of readying the ground is very important. Like for instance, when we say just deploy technologies and let's move for big data analytics, what I have seen is that our data that we collect itself is not in proper condition. So it is not a sanitized data. So it's not authentic, we can't depend on it, we can't totally rely on it. And given that is that kind of a scenario, it's really, really difficult as far as just the data is concerned. I've seen the pain points as far as big data processing is concerned. People, the technology companies have absolutely no clue about domain. And I have been pushing for task forces where at least the domain experts work very closely with the tech experts so that we understand nuance what is sensible data and what is not. How do you just sieve information? You know, that process is still not in place. As far as your smart mobility is concerned, we are again looking at most of the cities. Unfortunately, today, we haven't gone into integrating different modes of transportation and infusing smartness. We are still at the stage where we are just saying, okay, this city needs metro, that city needs a bus rapid transit system. We are still at a very, let's say, surface level. We haven't gone into the depths of how do we integrate, how do we conceive multimodal transportation, how do we integrate this transportation, how do we connect this by deploying technologies, creating a layer of intelligence and allowing people to migrate easily from one system to another. So this is still taking a bit of a time, but a bit of background work is being done, and in Nitin Gadkari's ministry, they are working on some aspects of smart mobility.
So thanks for the presentation. I was actually going to ask you a question on e-governance and governance
Yes.
overall, right? And I would have loved to see a little more of that, so I'm just putting it in the Q&A here. You know, successful governance models, whether it's in India, whether it's in context of urban cities or, you know, even corporations, right, depends on the participation of the people.
Right.
And I just wanted to know your thoughts, how and what is that criteria for success for a smart city where consumers and citizens are a part of that movement, and what is it that's happening specifically in the world that we could probably learn from?
Oh, okay. In the world, there are a lot of things that are happening. See, world typically, as I said, when I talked about the Taiwan model, it's a very simple thing. I mean, everything is like there's a complete tech interface, and you can give brickbats, you can give bouquets, you can work on a policy, you can contribute just like a typical product gets, you know, fortified by a user feedback. The same thing is being done in most parts of the world. They've created very robust interface mechanisms. And they're collecting data, they have periodic engagement. Engagement is real time and ongoing in most of the cities. But in India, we haven't come that far. Strangely, as I lead a foundation called Futuristic Cities Foundation, which 10 years ago, we came out with a crowdsourced protocol for taking and incorporating the wisdom of a citizen into the policy. And Government of India has taken that as a best practice and put it in the Smart Cities mission. But it has truncated 90% of my vision. They just put 10% of it because they believe that they're not up to speed as, you know, collecting data or even acting on it. Because in India, you don't have the back end. There's no strength of back end in India. So even if we are in a position to collect enough data, but who's going to act on that? Who's going to take immediate action on that? So that has been the biggest pain point. And people like us we swing between being traditional people and also modern people. So we try to go back and tell the government that, you know, get your act right, create more capacities, and then try to pull the expectations of, you know, technology evangelists, pull it down so that there'll be a bit of a match and a balance. Thank you very much. I think I have to leave. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Sorry, actually, I haven't recovered from my bronchitis.
No, it's not a problem. Thank you so much. And now moving forward to our next session. And for that, I would like to invite Mr. Surya Kumar, IBG, Managing Director and Lead, Communication and Media, Accenture India, and Govinda Ramaswamy, Senior Manager, Communication and Media, Accenture India, to talk on the topic AI and RPA for communication and media industry. So can we all give them a big round of applause?